Hey guys, welcome. My name is Heather Jones. I'm the #1 intuitive teacher in the world. Let's talk about something doctors can't explain: why some illnesses aren't physical, they're spiritual. So if you feel heavy, tired, triggered, or overstimulated, you're in the right place. So you guys, every day I teach the 7 keys for free. These keys took me over 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications to discover. So if you guys want to learn one of the most powerful things to literally transform your life, right? If you have been stuck, feeling sick, feeling overwhelmed, feeling tired, you have symptoms that can't be explained, one of these 7 keys are most likely going to transform your life, okay? How do I know this? Because each and every single key that I teach for free has unlocked truth and has unlocked a part of my healing that I cannot deny. So you guys, key #1 is we have been silenced. We have been silenced the day we were born. And you guys, the truth is that we have been taught to silence the messenger. And the messenger is the secret language of the body. So the messenger is what will set us free. When you silence your truth, you guys, the messenger will get louder and louder and louder until you listen. They knew that if they got us to silence our truth, they knew if that they separated us from the one thing that could set us free, which is our intuition, our gift of knowing what's right or wrong, or discernment. If they knew that they can get that silenced in us, that they would win, that they can control us, that they could profit off of us. So I am here to teach the 7 keys. And when you guys learn the 7 keys, when you learn that you have a gift of discernment that never lies, that always tells the truth, okay, this gift is your connection to source, pure connection. When you learn how to access this yes and no, or more like when you remember who you are and your power, and you use the 7 keys to unlock all truth, you guys, you will become unstoppable. So I work with hundreds of people. I've worked with hundreds of women across the entire globe. And I will tell you, we have been silenced. That people are suffering in silence because that is what they have been taught to do. And so now we go to the doctors because we're sick, because we're in pain, because we're suffering. And the doctors will gladly take our money. But they're not going to tell us what's wrong with us, because what you are dealing with is spiritual. What you are dealing with is not always physical, okay? And so I'm here to tell you what those keys are so that you can break free from the matrix, so that you can learn the most powerful system that took me over 10 years to learn, over $15,000 in certifications, okay? So make sure you guys are watching this. Make sure you guys are sharing this and tapping those hearts, because I'm going to be giving away these keys. So key #1, you guys, your body speaks to you through pain. Okay, so we haven't lied to you. We haven't told that pain is bad, that you should run away from pain as fast as you can. Go to the kitchen, run and grab a painkiller, right? But I'm telling you, when you do that, you're actually silencing your truth. I used to do this all the time too, right? The second I was sick, the second my kids were sick, I would run and grab a painkiller because I wanted to silence the pain. But the problem is that you are actually silencing the messenger. The messenger is just trying to tell you that there's something wrong here. The body is trying to communicate that there's something not right here. Now, yes, sometimes it's physical, but in most cases, I would say more than 80% to 90%, it's not physical. It's spiritual. And so we're going to go through those keys. So key #1, we have to stop silencing the messenger. So messenger is just communicating through pain, okay? Key #2 is it could be physical. Yes, it could be physical. It's either going to be, though, a parasite, a nutrient deficiency, or a toxin. And it could be more than one, okay? But a lot of us are spending thousands of dollars, right? We're seeing the doctors, we're doing all these labs, and they're not testing for the parasites. They're not testing for the toxins. They're not testing for the nutrient deficiencies, right? And then if they do, they're giving us products that maybe aren't 90 to 100% effective. So you guys, in my $27 guide, I teach you these things. Now, in my free guide, I teach you how to get a yes or no, and I teach you how to unlock the keys for free. So I teach you how to unlock every single key for free. So let's talk about the next key, emotional, the emotional key. So if you have ever dealt with spiritual trauma, physical trauma, sexual trauma, religious trauma, emotional trauma, any of the traumas, right? Which I know you have, because that's why we're here on this earth, is to experience trauma and trials, which are hashtag our training. But the problem is that you've experienced those most often as children. So when I was sexually and physically traumatized as a child, I did not have the mental capacity to tell myself or to know the truth about those situations. So what happens as children is we protect ourselves from those emotions. Our body buries those emotions deep down inside of us. Yeah, all of them. But now as adults, those pains are surfacing, right? The messenger is telling us that there's something wrong here and we need to listen so we can clear it. But what do? We run to the kitchen cabinet, we grab a painkiller, we drink, we do drugs, or we just silence it, we push it down. We don't want to deal with that, right? We don't want to look the trauma in the face because it was too much for us as children. But when you do that, you guys, when you push your traumas down for so long, you're silencing the messenger. And what happens when you silence a messenger? It gets louder and louder and louder until what happens? Until now you're dealing with 10/10 chronic pain. You're dealing with cancer. You're dealing with Hashimoto's. You're dealing with autoimmune disorders, right? These things started way before the physical symptoms. Way before the physical symptoms. So how do you know? How do you know what your pain right now is caused from? How do you know what your money blocks are caused from? Thanks, James. How do you know? You guys, when you have the 7 keys and you listen to your yes and your no, which never lies, always tells the truth, right? We have a gift, it's called intuition. Do you know that our intuition is a gift? It can never lie. It tests with a 99.9% accuracy, okay? Doctors, scientists, chiropractors, they've proven this. They have proven that our body is an instrument, that our body communicates to us. Our body tells us when something's wrong. So how does our body communicate that something's wrong? Through pain. Through pain. Thank you, James. So pain is the messenger. When we are born, we are taught to silence our pain, which we are only silencing our truth. You guys, when the messenger tells you the message and you listen and you hear it, do you know that the messenger leaves? The pain leaves? So every day I go on live and I take people typically from a 10/10 pain to a 0 pain in literal minutes. Because what we do is we allow the messenger to speak. We ask the messenger which key will unlock my truth, and then the pain leaves. It is that simple. And so when I spent 10 years certifying in holistic modalities, right, spending over $15,000 in certifications, and after spending another $1,000 in another certification and realizing it's all the same thing with a price tag on it, that every single thing that I certified in is in the yes and no and the 7 keys. If you can access your intuition and know how to ask the right question, you can get to the root cause of anything you are dealing with. Thank you, Steph. You can deal with money blocks. You can know exactly why you're not making $10,000 a month, okay? You can know exactly why you keep attracting crappy relationships. You can know exactly why you have headaches, migraines, why you're having infertility issues, why you're having cancer issues, Hashimoto issues, any type of issue that you are having. I want you to know that you can know exactly what's causing it. Exactly. Okay? So I'm going to tell you exactly in my free guide how to get your yes and your no. I teach you all 7 keys because keys are just pathways to unlock the truth quicker. Okay? So I work with doctors, I work with nurses, I work with healers, I work with psychics, I work with mediums. I work with everyday today people and I teach them the 7 keys and I say, ask which question will allow the messenger to speak. So when I have pain, you guys, I do this. Thank you, pain, for showing me something's not right. Are you physical? Are you emotional? Or are you one of these other keys? So you guys get a pen and paper, write these keys down because they are worth more than 10 years of education and $15,000 of certifications because that's what I went through to get this information. So emotional trauma, right? That's the 3rd key. So I was sexually and physically abused as a child. What happens when you have trauma as a child? You create belief systems about yourself, right? So I believed I was unworthy. I believed I was unlovable. I believed I was not good enough. And because of those beliefs, you guys, I allowed horrible things to happen to me. I was a people pleaser. I let people walk all over me. I didn't have any boundaries. Okay? Hi, Brenda. I see you, love. So you have to go back to that little person that was broken and rewrite the story. Because if you have experienced any trauma, which I know more than half of you who are watching this have, and you have not gone back and told that little person the truth, I had to go back to my 3-year-old and 4-year-old and 5-year-old and 6-year-old self. And I had to tell her, Heather, those things that happened to you were not your fault. You were worthy. You were more than enough. You were never broken, sweetheart. Okay? Yes, Ruby, got the free guide and the guidebook, Dealing with Infertility, Stomach, Gut Pain. Yeah. So you guys, we're going to go through every single key tonight. And I share these keys for free because people need to remember. Okay? We're having a mass awakening and we need people to remember the keys. Yes, Joy. Joy has the $27 guide. So let's go to the next key. Okay? So we talked about key number 1. Your body speaks to you through pain. Pain is just the messenger. Pain is communication that something is not right here. And so what do? We're taught to silence the pain. We're taught to silence the messenger because they knew, right, the corrupt system we're in, they knew if we can get them to silence the one thing that will always set them free, which is their intuition, their gift that tells them exactly what's wrong, we win. Okay? And they have. They're winning. Okay? Key number 2, it could be physical. Shannon, if it's not pain, right, it's a money block. It's bad relationships. It's people pleasing. It's not being able to set boundaries, okay? That's key number 1. So it doesn't have to be physical pain, but it could be something that's blocking you in your life. So key number 2, you guys, it could be physical, okay? But it's only going to be under one of these 3 things, and it could be all 3, and it could be multiple. It could be multiple toxins, multiple parasites, multiple nutrient deficiencies, but you can know exactly which one and how many, and then you can know exactly which supplement or product or food or clearing to do in order to clear it 100%. Your body can do that. Your body can do that, okay? Next key, emotional trauma. Okay, if you have ever experienced any type of trauma from the age of 0 to 25 years old, your brain was not fully developed. You did not have the mental capacity to fully recognize and understand what was happening or what was being done to you. So what does your body do? Your body protects you by protecting that in a cute little case inside of your body till you're old enough to recognize and deal with that. And then now you're an adult and your body's trying to bring this pain up and you're silencing it. And I'm telling you right now, people are silencing their truth and they're putting their own freaking lights out. What do I mean by that? God said, don't hide your light under a bushel. And what are people doing? Every time you silence your truth, you silence your light. You deny your truth. And people have been denying their truth for so long that they're on their freaking deathbed, dying, wondering what is wrong with me, desperately trying to heal themselves, and they can't because they're going to doctors who are not telling them the truth that their pain is spiritual, that their pain, their suffering is from emotional trauma that they haven't properly dealt with, okay? Or, next key, generational trauma. Yes, Brenda, I see you, queen. We all have lots of emotional trauma, you guys. Everyone, nobody escapes trauma in some type or form. So we're going through the 7 keys. The next key is generational trauma. Do you know that they have proven that you can have things passed down generationally from mom and dad, multiple generations back? Fears, phobias, sickness, disease. So a lot of you guys might be on here right now and you've done everything. You're like, I've done the trauma work. I've done the spiritual work. And nothing's clearing. Well, it might be generational. It might not even be yours. It might be something that's been passed down generationally from mom and dad. Okay? So my dad was very physically abusive with me, right? Because his dad was very physically abusive with him. His dad served in the war, had PTSD, was an alcoholic, right? As men are taught to not be vulnerable. Men are taught to keep all of their traumas and trials in. Okay? Our men today are dying inside because they have no outlet to be emotional. And so that, guess what? My dad's dad, he also served in the army. He also had traumas. Those were passed down generationally. And then I got, right, the physical abuse, the physical trauma. Okay? Generations back. Feeling unworthy too. Feeling like not good enough, right? Poverty, right? There's lots of things generationally that were passed down through my dad's line. Then I have my mom. My mom was sexually traumatized as a little girl, right? Her mother was sexually traumatized by her stepdad. Her mom slapped her across the face and said, that did not happen to you. Do not lie to me. Her mom, guess what? Her mom was sexually traumatized. Alcoholic. You guys, things get passed down generationally, and there's cycles, they're patterns until you decide the pattern stops with me. The generational trauma stops with me. So we're going through the 7 keys. I'm teaching you every key so that you can unlock your truth. Okay? Key number 1, what is it, you guys? Your body literally speaks to you every single time you ask. It gives you a yes or no. Your body has a secret language. It speaks to you. You've been silencing your messenger. When you silence your pain, you're literally silencing your truth, okay? Key number 2, it could be physical. Okay? A parasite, nutrient deficiency, or a toxin. Which one? You could know. Could be emotional trauma. Could be generational trauma. Some people had some unimaginable traumas compared to others, so if that's passed down, no. Yeah, and sometimes, right, people have unimaginable traumas happen to them. Does that necessarily mean that bleeds into the next generation? They've proven it through mice, that it does, right? They tortured mice. They would give them a certain scent or a smell. Guess what? The baby mice, whenever they would give them the scent or the smell, they would stay away from it, right? So you can have things passed down that you might be totally unaware of, right? You as a parent might be passing things down that you're totally unaware of, right? Because it's instinctual. And some of those instincts are not for your greater good. Some of those instincts might be the fear of money, the fear of making too much money, the fear of failure, okay? So let's go to the next key. Where are my empaths in here? Where are my empaths in here? Where are the people who, when they walk into a room, they can cut the energy with a knife? Where are my people that they feel people's pain, their energy, right? Where are my people at? Yes. So my empaths in here, do you know that you can actually absorb other people's energy and take it on as your own? Yes, Ruby. So let me show you a little lesson on quantum entanglement. So we all know we're energy, right? When we walk into a room, our energies literally bounce off of each other. That's why we can feel the ick when someone comes in. That's why we can feel the way people feel about themselves, right? We can literally feel energy. Well, our energies bounce off of each other, and about after 20 minutes, the energy kind of calms down and we're connected energetically. We're connected. But what happens is when people don't set boundaries, when people don't know how to protect themselves, right? When the energy separates, you actually take some of their energy with you home. Okay? You actually absorb some of that energy and you take it on as your own. Okay? I used to do that all the time. And do you guys know that I actually work with people who take it on energy when they were little kids, and that energy is still stuck with them, causing them chronic pain, like 10/10 pain, and it's not even theirs. So how do you know? How do you know? Well, you get your yes and no, your intuition that never lies, always tells the truth. You ask, which key will unlock my truth? If you get yes to absorbed energy, you know that energy is not yours. How do you set energetic boundaries? You just command your energy to be protected, right? Consecration, prayer. I teach this in my spiritual mastery course. You guys, we're not taught how to protect our energy, okay? But I'm guilty of taking on people's energy sometimes too, right? So like a couple days ago, I got off the live and my chest, I had all this pain in my chest, and I used the 7 keys like I do for everything. I tested it was absorbed energy. It wasn't mine. And guess what? Sent it back to sender and my chest pain was gone. It's so easy. It's that easy. So for all of you guys who are absorbing energy unintentionally because you're empaths, okay? You can use the 7 keys to test. And I can tell you right now, there are people that are holding on to hundreds of absorbed energies. Okay? Hundreds. And they're not yours to carry. So I want to tell you a story so that this can make sense and resonate with some people. I had a friend, she was 27 years old. She had been dealing with stomach pain, constipation, bloating for years, even since she was a little girl. The doctors couldn't figure it out. Her test came back normal, so they prescribed her like Miralax. She literally lived on Miralax. Okay? So we did a one-on-one session. So I do this with everyone, right? Stomach pain, what did the messenger tell me? Okay? The messenger said, "Hey, it's absorbed. It's absorbed energy." Okay, do we need to know more? Yeah. Okay, how old was she? She was 6 months old. Okay, do we need to know more? Yeah. Who did it come from? Her mom? Yes. Do we need to know more? Yes. Okay, what happened? Was there an accident? Yes, there was an accident. Okay, do we need to know more? No. So she was able to clear within a couple minutes. Her stomach pain was completely gone. She had never not had a stomach pain. So then she calls her mom and said, "Hey mom, did something happen when I was 6 months old?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, "How did you know?" And she's like, "Yeah, were we in an accident or something?" "Yeah." She's like, "We were in a car accident. We shouldn't be alive. I literally thought we were both going to die. You were 6 months old." Okay. So her mom got in a car accident when she was a 6-month-old baby. And her mom, right? How do you think you feel when you think you're going to die? That little baby, my friend, absorbed that fear and that energy. Okay. And now here she is as a child carrying that fear and that energy, causing her massive stomach pains, bloating, constipation. And of course, no doctors could figure it out because it wasn't physical. It was energy, quantum entanglement. Okay? So when you have the 7 keys, I don't care if you believe in these things or not. They still work. Change the language to make sense to you. You guys, in my $27 guide, okay, I have 2 guides. I have a free guide that teaches you a way to get a yes or no when we go into the 3 keys really deeply. But I list the 7 keys, okay? In my $27 guide, I teach you exactly all the questions to ask for all 7 keys. I give you all the charts to know if it's physical, which one. Is it a parasite, a nutrient deficiency, or toxin? Which one? Okay, these charts I've created, doctors use them, nurses use them in the holistic practice. Okay, I'm telling you that you can use the same exact system. I spent the last 10 years certifying in several holistic modalities. I spent over $15,000 in certifications that I just didn't need. I needed my intuition, how to get a yes or no, how to ask the right questions, and then I needed to trust that my body knew, and I used the 7 keys to unlock truth. That's it. So we're going through the 7 keys, you guys. We're almost done. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you at least get the free guide, you guys. This information is free. I wish somebody gave me this information for free. I wish somebody said, "Heather, what you're dealing with is not physical, love. These money blocks, they're not physical. These really bad relationships that you keep calling in and getting physically abused, okay, you have a block. You have a generational and emotional block that we got to clear, okay? So these keys work. Hi, Kylie. So you guys, these keys work. They work because you're allowing yourself, your intuition, to speak truth into you, to tell you exactly what's wrong. So you're not going to be gaslit anymore. How many of you guys have been gaslit by doctors that your pain is normal? How many of you spent thousands of dollars on doctors only to be told nothing is wrong with you? Only to be told to take a medication that not only maybe fixes the problem, but then gives you 100 other side effects, right? And they're like, "Oh, no worries. We'll just prescribe you another medication that has another set of side effects," right? The system is meant, you guys, the system is meant to profit off of you and to keep you sick. Because since day one, that was how they knew they would get us stuck. Silence their truth, get them on so many medications. Not only does it block your spiritual gifts, it blocks your intuition. And then let's gaslight them and tell them pain is bad. Like, get away from pain as fast as you can. So then it creates this cycle. So now here I am, a young mom with children, okay? I have children who are having physical symptoms like eczema, rashes, colds. And what do? I put them on steroid creams. I put them on all these medications, okay? Only to find out later, now that know all these things, that it wasn't physical. Okay? And the thing that my son did have was parasites. Okay? Extreme eczema, rashes. He was allergic to milk and he had parasites. Guess what? Doctors do not test for parasites in the United States. They just don't do it. Okay? They say that's a third world problem. Okay? They don't test for toxins. They don't test for nutrient deficiencies. Okay? They just don't do it. Why? Because they know if they get to the root cause of the problem, they can't profit of you off of you anymore. So our society is taught to do is to mask the symptoms. Push the symptoms down so you never get to the root. Because if they get to the root, if they tell you, hey, you can heal yourself for free, where does their profit margins go? They're gone. Okay? They're gone. So I'm teaching you the system for free. All you need is the 7 keys and your yes and your no. Okay? I have worked with hundreds of people across the entire globe, in every country, in every continent. These keys are universal. Okay? So we've already gone through the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the 5th key. We have 2 keys left. Okay? So the next key, you guys, is spiritual. You want customers, not curses. So you guys, the next key is spiritual. Okay? What do I mean by spiritual? So when I was a little girl, when I was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I saw demonic entities. Okay? I was attacked by demonic entities. I was a little girl. I wasn't worshiping Satan. I wasn't a lower vibrational being. Okay? Was there a lot of chaos in my home? Yeah. Was I being physically abused? Yeah. Were my parents fighting, abusing each other? Yeah. Okay? I'd wake up from extremely horrific night terrors. Extremely horrific sleep paralysis, where I would wake up and I couldn't scream. Okay? Those things were very real for me. So when I was in Sunday school and I was reading scriptures and I was reading about Jesus casting out demonic entities into swine, I knew that was real. I didn't doubt that for a second. So it was really confusing to me in church when nobody was talking about these things. Like, why aren't we talking about demonic entities? Why, when people talk about seeing things, we shh, we don't talk about those things. Okay? So you guys might be having actual physical pain. You guys might be having actual physical pain that is being brought on by a spiritual attack. Okay? How do I know this, you guys? Because I've lived through every key. So not only did I experience seeing those things as a child, when I was 21, I started having the worst migraines ever. So who in here has had migraines? Yep, persecution's cross. And we're going to talk about that. Who in here has dealt with migraines? I'm talking severe migraines. 10/10 migraines all the time. Okay? Yeah. Okay. All the people in here who are having migraines, you guys listen up. If you have never had a migraine, I want to tell you something. Migraines will put you in bed. Migraines will put you on the brink of the emergency room. We have a system. I had a system. The second I knew a migraine was coming, it was an ibuprofen 800. It was 2 Tylenol 500s. It was a Coke. It was icy hot on my neck. It was an ice pack on my neck. It was covering my eyes in pitch black darkness with no noise for 3 hours. And that was the only way I could get rid of my migraines. So when I was 21 years old, I was having these migraines almost every day. And I went to the doctors, and the doctor prescribed me to a specialist, a neuroscientist. Is that it? A neurologist. Okay? The neurologist did labs. I thought I had a tumor. I literally thought I was dying. There must be a tumor. Okay? They ran labs. They came back normal, and they said, oh, you're just having migraines. It's totally normal. Okay? I am here to tell you that migraines are not normal. Pain is not normal. So they put me on a prescription called Imitrex, and you guys look at the ingredients in Imitrex and the side effects. Not only was that medication slowing down my heart, okay, but it had extreme side effects. So I was on this medication for almost a decade. So I'm going to get to the point why this spiritual key is so important. So now I'm 32. It's been 11 years dealing with migraines. I'm 32. Okay? I go to an appointment that's out of town. I don't have my medication and I don't have my system. So I'm at a place where I'm feeling a migraine coming on, and you guys know who get migraines. Oh shoot, I'm in big trouble. So I call a friend. who does energy work, right? I say, please tap in. Please tap in. I'm about to get a migraine. I can't get to my medication. So she gets permission to tap in. She taps in and she said, Heather, you are being attacked by legions of entities. Legions of entities. And in that moment, excuse me, you know in Stranger Things when he feels Vecna and he gets that tingle up his neck? You guys, when she said that, I got that chill up my neck. And it was like every cell in my body said that is true. And I knew it. I felt it. And she said, you need to go into the bathroom and you need to clear them. Excuse me. Don't worry, I'm not coughing up demons. So I went into the bathroom. I put my hand to the square and I went to cast out in Jesus' name. And my mouth was bound shut. I couldn't speak it, but I could call out in my mind, okay? And I called out and I cleared them out. And you guys, that was the very first time in over 11 years that I did not have a full-blown migraine. And that was a miracle. And that is when I knew without a shadow of a doubt that people were literally suffering with chronic pain and it wasn't even theirs. Okay? I have not had a migraine since. And if I do, I feel one coming on. Most likely for me, it's a magnesium deficiency. And I can test. Is it physical? Yes. Is it a nutrient deficiency? Yes. If I do test spiritual, I can clear it out. So you guys, I don't teach these things to scare people because we are in a spiritual warfare, whether you like it or not. But the truth is that you have so much power over these things. So as I certified in these holistic modalities, these spiritual modalities, as I learned about demonology and I studied those things, I realized even in scripture, right? You can just read scripture and know that we are so powerful. And so when I use the 7 keys and I test spiritual, I'm going to test what is it? And I can know exactly what is it. Is it demonic? Is it an unclean spirit? Is it a fiery dart of the adversary? Is it a curse? Is it a hex? What is it? You can know. And then once you find out, guess what? You can send it on its jolly way. And that is the power of the 7 keys. Now, who of you guys have been dealing with ringing in the ears? Ringing in the ears. Feeling like you are so exhausted. You guys, I have felt like I need to take a 3 or 4 hour nap every single day this month. It's insane. Yeah. How many of you guys felt like you've been swimming in a pool? You know when we're little and we swim in the pool for hours and we feel like we're like underwater, like the pressure? Yeah, me all day, every day. Yeah, it's intense right now, you guys. So when I use the 7 keys and I kept testing spiritual, but it wasn't bad. I kept getting this is not bad because it wasn't. It was ascension, integration. So a lot of us are having ringing in the ears and we're feeling exhausted because our bodies are exhausted trying to catch up with the higher vibrational frequencies that are being inputted right now from the earth, right? The Schumann resonance. The earth is shifting, you guys. Not only is she shifting and ascending, she's tilting, right? She's not even on the North Pole anymore. Okay, her axis is shifted. Okay, scientists have already proven this and said the Schumann resonant, the spikes are off the charts. And our bodies are energetically feeling that and they're trying to catch up to the higher vibrational frequencies, right? And we're exhausted. It's all good things though, you guys. It's all good things. Okay, we are being forced to wake up, to see through the lies, to see through, right, the distortion that's been placed upon us. Everyone's starting to learn that they've been poisoning our water, they've been poisoning our food, they've been poisoning our air, right? These things are all coming to light. And now when you have the 7 keys and you test spiritual, but you test ascension or integration, that means I need to give my body a little break. I need to give my body a little break. I woke up in August this year. Oh yeah, fully awoke. Lots of people are having ascensions. Lots of people are having awakenings, okay? But a lot of people don't know, well, now what do I do with this, right? That's why I have a spiritual mastery course. If you feel called to join the spiritual mastery course, you can learn more about that. There's a link in my bio, okay? But for now, please start by getting the free guide. Please start by investing $27 so you can not only learn the 7 keys, but you can practice these 7 keys on other people. You can use these keys to work on your kids, your family members, right? Does vertigo also have to do with ascension? It can, but not all the time, right? So you guys, if you want to get my free guide, I give you a list of the 7 keys, a way to get a yes or a no, okay? It's linked in my bio. Click my picture, and then in my bio, I have a Stan store, okay? I give you every single key for free. It took me 10 years just to get the damn keys, okay? It took me 10 years just to get the damn keys to open the doors to my truth, to my healing. So if anything, get the keys and start trusting for yourself. Start asking, okay? Ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. We know this, you guys. We know this, okay? Your body knows that what I'm saying is true. So let's go to the next key, okay? We only have one more. And then in about 15 minutes, you guys, we're going to jump on. We're going to do some one-on-one so I can show you in real time that these keys work. I'm not your savior. I'm not your healer, okay? I'm not here to do anything for you other than to help you remember. I'm here to make you wake up. I'm here to say, wake up. Stop letting people gaslight you and silence your pain and your truth. I'm here to tell you that the abuses that happened to you, the sexual trauma that happened to you, the physical trauma that happened to you, the emotional abuse that happened to you, okay? First of all, you didn't deserve that, okay? First of all, you're amazing and worthy and whole. And if I could give you a hug across the screen, I would. If I can tell you that you are so beautiful and so loved and so enough, I would. Okay, but what I'm telling you now is that those things do not have to define you anymore. Those things need to go to bed. You need to go tell yourself the truth. You need to recognize the lesson. What did you learn from those traumas, right? Maybe you just learned that I will never, ever, ever allow anyone to silence my truth again. Yes, Kelly. Maybe the only thing that you have learned from your trauma is I will never, ever, ever, ever allow anyone to silence my truth ever again. I will never, ever, ever let anyone tell me that what happened to me did not happen to me and that I need to just suck it up. I will never allow anyone to gaslight me about my spiritual trauma, about me seeing demonic entities, about me being sexually or physically abused, about me and my experiences, okay? These are my experiences. That's why I can so confidently share the 7 keys. And then not only that, I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of people across the world. I have seen miracles like you wouldn't believe. And it wasn't because I am a miracle worker, because I am God or a savior. It's because I held sacred space for people and people got the keys and people remembered this is not my fault or my problem. And guess what? The pain goes away in minutes. Yeah, Caroline, I share it with everyone for free. So if someone comes on here and they don't have a penny in their pocket, which I know how that feels like, okay? They can learn. I give you all the keys for free on this live, okay? I teach you how to get a yes or a no. So yeah, I charge $27 for the other guide, which is going to go up to $47 in January, because I certified in over 10 holistic modalities and spent $15,000 investing in myself. And then I created the easiest, simplest system because I was so pissed off that people were creating these thousands of dollars of programs to learn the system that God gave you for free. Number 1, you have an intuition. It tells you yes and no. With a 99.9% accuracy, you can know exactly what's wrong with you. I created the keys because I certified in NLP hypnosis and quantum healing hypnosis therapy, okay? And I was like, wow, it doesn't take 3 hours to get to the root cause and clear it, okay? I certified in emotion code. I realized I didn't need thousands of dollars of certification to certify in that, okay? I certified in theta healing. I realized, well, I don't need theta healing to go ask God if I can be healed and witness the healing, okay? I've been certified in breakthrough, which took me a whole year to realize that I can go to that little girl and I can tell her exactly what was wrong, give her all the love and encouragement she needs, and then that trauma was healed instantly. I spent another certification on inner wise. The system that I give you, I teach you for $27 is the exact system that I paid a lot of money to learn how to get a yes or a no. So I charge $27 for that guide, and it is pure freaking gold. If every single person in the world had my free guide right now, the world would literally break the matrix overnight, because so many people would awaken to their truth that it would literally change the ascension trajectory of this earth. Okay? That's why I give it for free. And that's why I charge $27 for my other guide. Okay? So let's go to the last key. Let's go to the last key. And thank you so much to my Shelby, you guys. Shelby, okay, who's helping, okay, sharing all this information. You guys, thank you so much for tapping on the screen and hearting and sharing. Because when you share this, it gives other people permission to learn these keys for free. When you share, it's sharing truth, okay? I'm only one person. I can only do so much. But when you help in the fight for truth, it does so much, you guys. So much, okay? So let's go to the last key, okay? Let's go to the very last key. Who's excited for the last key? Yes, I'm ready. Okay. So you guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. This key was really hard for me, okay? Because I had my own beliefs about what was true for me. So when this experience happened to me, it was very eye-opening. So I was dealing with chronic chest pain. Yes, Brenda. Brenda shared with more than 10 people. Yes, queen. So you guys, I was dealing with chronic chest pain, okay? I had the information. I knew to not silence my messenger. I knew that my pain was communication. So for some reason, it took me about 3 weeks to finally ask my chest pain, what the heck are you? Why aren't you going away? Okay, and my body told me, this pain is not from this lifetime. And I was like, what does that even mean? And I'm very hard-headed, you guys. And about 3 days later, when the pain, it literally felt like my ribs were going to like crush in on themselves. Like I had something sitting on my chest. It was so bad. So I asked again a couple days later, I'm like, what is this pain? What is this pain? And guess what my body said? It is not from this lifetime. So I did what everybody does. I went on YouTube and I searched past life regression. I did a meditation and I saw myself in vision as a redheaded princess in a castle, bawling my eyes out. And I felt every emotion that young woman was feeling. She felt worthless because all she was needed for was to produce a male heir, right? She was treated less than the dog, right? Her value was nothing because she was a woman. And I felt that. And I was like, whoa. So then when I came back out of that vision, I was like, what was that? Right? This was all brand new to me. What was that? So I reached out to the same friend who tested for lesions of my neck. Okay. I reached out. I said, hey, can you do a session? I've been having this chest pain. It has been going on for almost 4 weeks now. I really need your help. I didn't tell her a thing. So then I'm in the session. And in about 5 to 10 minutes in the session, you guys, I'm like, oh, I think I need to tell her. So I told her, I said, hey, I think I believe in multiple lives, like multiple lives. She's like, oh, so do I. She's like, so do I. She's like, I see a little redheaded girl running through the fields. And you guys, in that moment, it's like every single cell in my body again said, this is real. Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, it testified that this, what she said, was true. And my chest pain was gone in minutes, completely gone. The debilitating chest pain that was crushing my ribs was completely gone. So in that moment, I knew that past lives are real, okay? If past lives does not resonate with you and it doesn't sit with you, that's okay. You're not ready for that, or you need to change the language to make it make sense. Now, before then, I did believe that I was some type of being before I came here, and that I would live after this life, right? I always believed in that. I knew I was an internal being, but it shifted my perspective when I had that experience. So you guys, I am literally helping hundreds of women and men clear the persecution's cross. What is the persecution's cross? It is people who have literally been called to speak truth into this world right now. It means that you have been silenced as a witch, as a truth seeker, as someone who is just trying to share information to help the greater good of humanity, and you were silenced for that. You were silenced for that. And not only were you silenced for that once, multiple lifetimes. And you guys, this is the lifetime. I've seen it in vision and meditation and when I pray. It is like the phoenix rising from the ashes. But this time, the phoenix is taking all those lives, all those lessons, all those traumas, bringing them into this final moment of ascension. Okay? And so all these people too that are having this persecutions cross, you better believe this has not been an easy life. When I am telling you the people I work with, it has been the most horrific physical trauma, sexual trauma, emotional trauma, religious trauma, okay? There is a reason for your traumas and your trials, and it's #training. Your traumas and your trials were here to train you and prepare you for this next step of clearing the persecutions cross and stepping fully into your gift, to your light. Because when I turn around and I teach these keys, you guys, I don't teach these keys because I had a silver spoon put in my mouth and my life was just easy breezy. Who wants to hear truth or spiritual keys or lessons from people who hadn't had a hard life? So when I teach the physical key, the spiritual key, the emotional key, the generational key, the past life key, the absorbed key, it's because I experienced them to the umpth degree of pain. So all of my traumas and my trials prepared me for this moment in my lifetime right now, so that when I'm talking to a mom who's lost a child, I can relate to her and I can love with her. When I talk to a female who's been sexually traumatized or a male, I can relate to them and I can understand. When I deal and talk with people who've been physically abused, when I deal with people who've been silenced about seeing things from the other side of the veil, when I deal with people in any type of physical traumas, I can relate and I can speak truth to them because I've been there. So if you're watching this and these keys are resonating with you, you're like, I think I have that. I think I have that. You guys get my free guide. It's free. Start asking and you will receive the answers, okay? If you want to book a one-on-one with me, we can get on a one-on-one call, okay? If you want to join my spiritual mastery course and you feel called to use your gifts to help other people, it's not easy. It's not easy for people to show up in leadership, to teach, okay? If you think it's easy for me to come on lives on TikTok, do you think it was easy for me to step fully into my spiritual gifts and to say that I had the gifts, the keys to unlock people's healing, to go from a 10-10 to a 0 pain? No, that took a lot of work. Yeah, it takes a lot of work to take the spiritual path. The easy way out is to silence yourself and to put your light out. The easier thing for you to do is keep your mouth shut and allow the abusers to live a comfortable life because you're too afraid to speak your truth. And it breaks my heart that there are people out there who have silenced their truth for so long that they're literally dying inside. Because every time you silence your truth, you put a part of your light out. And you keep putting your light out and you get dimmer and dimmer until your light goes completely out. And you leave this earth with the secrets of the abusers. You leave this earth allowing your abusers to go free. Never setting yourself free, right? And dimming your light for other people to feel more comfortable. Well, if I shine my light too bright, I'm gonna make other people feel comfortable. Who the hell cares? I don't want your light to go out either. Yes, Darren. Yes. This is what we need. And you guys, I am telling you, the system is broken. The system intentionally uses words like victim. Do you know the system? The one of the largest nonprofit foundations that helps victims. First of all, we're not fucking victims. We're survivors. Okay? We're survivors. We overcame. We triumphed. We survived. We're here alive. Okay? We have to start feeding truth into people that they're not broken, that they're not any unworthy. We have to stop like using these small, tiny words like, oh, don't say that. They were victimized. They were abused. Yeah, that was horrific. But let's use empowering words so that people like men and women have the courage to stand up and say, hey, this happened to me and this wasn't okay. Because I'm telling you, and it's way too many people I'm working with that have been abused. Way, way, way too, astonishingly, way too many. And they're dealing with cancer, they're dealing with Hashimoto's, they're dealing with severe chronic symptoms. Okay? If you're dealing with a severe chronic system right now, if you're dealing with a chronic, it's because you have silenced your messenger for so many years. And your messenger is just trying to get you to listen. And now you're listening because the pain is really bad, but you're not getting any answers because you're going around it the wrong way. Okay? So get the keys, ask, is there some emotional trauma tied to my physical symptoms? Is there some generational trauma tied to my physical symptoms? Are there some spiritual curses, hexes, demonic entities, unclean spirits feeding off my energy? Okay? Do I have a past life that's trying to be cleared? Yes, Rock. Welcome back, Queen. So you guys, I'm not here to like force information. I'm here to give the keys for free. I'm here to teach you that you can know exactly to the root cause what has been causing your pain, what has been causing your money blocks, what has been causing these horrible relationships to show up. Why does everything keep failing in my life? Why is everything so hard, right? There's truth. Everything's a lesson too. We cannot spiritually bypass the lessons. And I think this is what's the problem with society, is because you have all these people on TikTok, you have all these people online saying all you have to do is just manifest it. You just have to believe in it and see it, write an affirmation on your mirror, just, imagine the $1 million in your bank account and that's it, and it will come. That's spiritually bypassing. What you have to do is say, hey, God, universe, I want 10K in my bank account. Okay? And then your body's going to show up physically and say, okay, well, if you want 10K in your bank account, let's use the keys to learn the lessons why that 10K isn't in your bank account. And usually it's because you had an emotional trauma. Your parents said you got to work hard for money, or money is evil. Maybe you had some generational things. Maybe you have a generational curse or a hex on your family. Maybe there's some spiritual ties to that. But when you clear the keys, guess what? The money comes in. You learn the lessons to now attain that money. Maybe you're attracting bad relationships. Why do I keep attracting a-holes into my life? Well, because you believe that's all you deserve. Because when you were a child, something happened to you physically or emotionally that made you feel less than, not good enough, not worthy enough. And so now you're a vibrational frequency match for those people who are going to treat you exactly the way you think you deserved. You feel you deserved. Does this make sense, you guys? Is it belief? Is it believe or mirror? It could be you believe it and then you mirror your reality of what you believe. It's both. Okay? So, you guys, you can use these keys if you're in pain. You can use these keys if you have a money block. You can use these keys if you have bad relationships. Somebody asked about their infertility. I've been struggling with infertility. Okay? If you're struggling with something, you could know. Is it physical? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it generational? Is it past life? Is it absorbed? Okay? It could be multiple keys. So we're going to be doing some one-on-ones, okay? So it's about that time. And I'm going to show you exactly how to use these keys. Now, when you get the $27 guide, I teach you exactly how to get your yes and no in seconds. Okay? In my free guide, it's the body sway test. So it takes a long time to get a yes or a no. Right? In my $27 guide, I teach you the intuitive testing way that I learned in Germany to get a yes or no in seconds. And then you get all the charts, all the keys, also how to use this for money blocks, how to use this on your kids, on your husband, on your friends. Okay? And when I say how to use this on them, it's if they give you permission, okay? Some people don't want to be healed, right? Some people are like, I'm good. I wear my pain as my badge. And if you take away my pain, I don't know who I am. Okay? Lisa, yes. Okay? So you guys, make sure you get my $27 guide this month, because in January, it's going to go up to $47. All right. You're so welcome. Okay, so we have Lisa and Brenda. Okay, we worked a little bit on them yesterday, and there's some residual things. So one thing I want to make very clear for those people who are suffering and who are watching this, you guys, pain comes in layers. The messenger is going to come in layers. So you're going to clear some things. You're going to go to a zero pain, and then she's going to come back. Someone says, well, will the pain go away forever? And I'm like, no, because we're here to learn life and to learn lessons. And so the pain is just going to come up when there's a problem. And so we're going to clear a bunch of stuff. And then the messenger's like, oh, she's getting to work. Okay, here's some next things, clear. Here's some more things, clear. Here's some more things, clear. You guys, I'm 41 years old. And I can tell you I'm still clearing things, right? I'm still clearing, like my next goal is 100K in a month, okay? I needed to clear some keys to make that work for me, right? I needed to learn and grow. And so there are growing pains. So these keys just help you when the pain shows up to know how to get through it quicker. I'm never depressed. I never have anxiety. I'm never sick. If I have a bad day, it's a day. It's a couple hours and then the next day I'm fine. Why? Because I have the keys and I can ask my messenger, my intuition, exactly what's wrong, and they'll tell me. And then I can move on. Okay? Thanks, love. Will I get banned for cussing? I don't think so. I drop a couple bombs every once in a while. I think you'll get banned if somebody reports you. Okay. Hey, Lisa. So there's two Lisas on here. So Lisa Wolf. And then Lisa, I did send you that guide through my private email. Hopefully you got it. Danielle. Hey, babe. She's like, there's worse things than cussing. I know some people are on here though, and I think they just like to cause drama and they like report people, but yay. Okay. So you guys, what we're going to do in the next like 30 minutes is we're going to do a couple one-on-ones because I want you to see how this works. And this is the exact system I use with everybody. And so I've been doing this for over 10 years now. I've worked with hundreds of people across the continent. I've actually worked with someone from every continent. And it's universal. These keys are not religious, okay? These keys are universal keys to unlock your truth, not mine. So how do I pay? If you want to get my free guide, you guys click the link in my bio. So click my picture. There's the free guide. If you want to invest $27, you will learn the exact system that I learned to get my yes and no in minutes. Thank you. So I got Lisa and then Brenda, and then there's another Lisa. Then there's a Lisa Baker, which is the third Baker. So let's just start with those three. Okay. And then thank you, Shelby, my lovely friend who's helping respond. So if you have any messages, you guys just drop it in the comments. Oh, Shelby, I don't think I made you a moderator. Let me do that real quick. Okay. Commenting. Hold on one second, you guys. I'm just going to make Shelby a monitor so that she can do all the fun things. Comment settings. Thanks, guys, for being so patient while I do this. Why isn't it allowing me to do it? Usually it just... Usually it would just allow me to do it right when I click. Of course, it's technical issues. That's okay. So Shelby, if you can just, when you comment, it'll make your comment the first. So if you guys, so we're going to do Lisa Wolf, then Brenda, and then Lisa Baker. Okay. All right. So Lisa Wolf. Oh, first name, surname. I see that. I thought the Matrix was attacking me and I was sectioned in a mental hospital for psychosis. Yeah, so I will go into psychosis. You guys, a lot of times our spiritual antennas, our third eyes are being blasted open with no boundaries. Okay? So in my spiritual mastery course, right, because we go deep into spiritual things, those things really happened, but you didn't have any boundaries. So when you don't have any spiritual boundaries, right, anything can come in. You guys look at Stranger Things. Look at the movie Insidious, right? The little boy had no spiritual boundaries. He didn't know. And so all those things came flooding in because they were attracted to his light. So a lot of people who are going through spiritual psychosis, it's their spiritual antenna being blasted open. And not only can the angels and God and Jesus see, but so can the demonic entities. So can all the unclean spirits. So can everything. And they just come flooding into you like flies to a light, okay, moths to a light. And then with no spiritual boundaries, that can get overwhelming. That can get absolutely terrifying. And they can physically hurt you, right? They can physically hurt you. So you're dealing with physical pain, crazy visions with no boundaries, okay? So what they do is they silence your pain with painkillers. They put you on extreme amount of medications, and those will silence your gifts. So you will stop seeing them. But then what happens is as people get off their medications, they start seeing and hearing things again. And the doctors will say, well, it's because you're crazy. You got to stay on these antipsychotics. You're not psychotic. Now, I had an uncle who was on medication and he swore he was John the Baptist, right? All I'm saying is that nobody is broken. People just need to learn how to set spiritual boundaries. And then if there is a physical imbalance that's causing things like visions or things that aren't actually there, then you can test. Is there a toxin overload? Is there a parasite overload? Is there a nutrient deficiency that will balance this out? Okay. So Lisa Wolf. So we're going to work with Miss Lisa. Okay. So when I work with other people, I have to get their permission. And I teach you this in my $27 guide. So I teach you exactly how to do what I do. So when I'm working on other people, I ask, do I have permission to work on Lisa Wolf? Yes, I got a yes. Now I'm going to ask, which key will unlock her healing? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? So Lisa, what are we working on, babe? Is it your cough still? Yes. Okay. So another thing is too, is you guys, when I work with people, first I clear all the keys. So I clear all the keys. I ask myself, is there anything physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life absorbed? Okay. Once all those are cleared and I get that the keys are cleared, then I'm going to ask specific questions. Then I'm going to ask money block questions. Then I'm going to ask this specific pain right here. Okay. So with Lisa, we're asking specifically for her chronic cough because yesterday we worked on her neck. We worked on her cough a little bit. So the first key that I got that her body said was absorbed. Okay. What is absorbed? We can take on other people's energy as our own. Sometimes there's an emotion attached to that. Sometimes we need to know what age. We keep asking the messenger till the messenger's done speaking. A lot of times we'll get a download of what this is, but the messenger's not done talking. So I've had people on my live say, I'm clearing and it's not clearing. Well, do you know what you're clearing? Well, no. Well, that's trying to spiritually bypass your messenger. That's still shutting your messenger up. Okay, we need to listen to the messenger and we need the messenger to give us the whole message. Does this make sense? They said the coughing is from my stomach acid. Let's ask if that is true. Her coughing is from her stomach acid. Yes, I got a yes for that too. Okay, so her coughing is tied to her stomach acid. So we need to treat the stomach acid. Yes. Okay, so we're going to treat the stomach acid. Hey, so what are the spiritual attacks? What are the spiritual boundaries? So I'll go into that. Okay. The spiritual attacks, they're demonic, unclean, fiery darts of the adversary, right? They could be many things. So you need to get my free guide so that you can learn how to get a yes or no ask. And then you guys just need to set spiritual boundaries. We're not taught how to do that. I teach that in my spiritual mastery course. Okay, so Lisa, this stomach pain that's causing her a cough, right? From the stomach acid. Is the first key absorbed? Yes. Do we need to know more? Yes. Was it from, do we need to know who it was from? No. Do we need to know what age it started? Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, age 10. At age 11, Lisa, is when this absorbed energy happened. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. So you guys, in my $27 guide, right? It's only $27 for now. We're going to see which trapped emotion is it. Okay. It's the front page, back page. 50 through 60, 61, 62, 60. So worthless. Worthless at age 11, Lisa. Okay. So how does someone clear when we test? How does somebody clear when we test for something absorbed or we test for something painful? You guys, I'm going to teach you the fastest way to clear anything. So like I said, I've been certified in way too many modalities and they have this huge elaborate way to clear. Okay, you don't need that. You need breath, and unconditional love. So for you guys who are clearing, I want you to hold sacred space for yourself. So people are like, why do you do this? This is me holding sacred space for myself. This is safety for me. Then when the messenger spoke, so the messenger spoke to Lisa that this pain, some of this pain in your stomach was from when you were 11 years old. And you took on the emotion of feeling worthless. Okay. So Lisa is going to breathe and she's just going to keep taking deep breaths. And with each breath in, you guys, I imagine my body filled with unconditional love, just this yummy, juicy love. And then with each breath out, I see the pain leaving my body and out my breath. So Lisa's going to do this with her stomach pain. Okay. And then we're going to keep breathing until the pain goes down. Okay. I'm going to ask, well, what will this pain get to? Or what will this clear this stomach? 10, the worst, 0, good. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. So this will clear it to a 5, Lisa, which means there's another key. So if there is another key, we're going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? So I got another absorbed key. Now, for the sake of time, I'm just going to ask, are there multiple absorbed keys? Yes. Does she need to know all the emotions of those absorbed keys? She does. Okay. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5, Lisa. Sometimes I wish we could do things quicker, but sometimes we can't. So there's 5 more absorbed energies, and she has to know the emotion. Okay? There is a fast way, though, for clearing those 5 absorbed emotions. It's called the thalamus tap. The thalamus tap, you tap 25 times and you breathe in and out 3 times. But for Lisa, she needs to know what those emotions are, so I'm going to tell her. This page. Okay, the back page. Top half. Worried, worthless, lost. So one of them is lost. This page. Top half. Love unreceived. So that's 2. This page. Nope. 1 through 10, 10 through 20, 20 through 30, 20, 21, 22, 23. Grief. Oh my goodness. 11 was a hard year for you, Lisa. This page. So 2 more. Top half. Stubbornness, terror, unreceived. Unreceived. Okay, and then 1 more. This page. Okay. 50 through 60. And then unassertive. Okay, so those were the 5. So you're just going to breathe in unconditional love into your stomach and then just breathe out those absorbed energies. They're not yours. They're not yours, okay? You've been carrying those ever since you were 11, okay? Okay, sorry, Shelby, I can block her. Okay. If I could make you the freaking moderator, you could do that. Okay, so block. Goodbye. We don't allow trolls on my page. Sorry, this is a sacred, safe space for people who want to heal themselves. And we don't do that here. People are crazy. Okay. And let's see. I'm going to try to do this one more time. Oh, there we go. Yay. Okay. All right. Just added you as the moderator, Shelby. So now you can do all the blocking. You can pin comments, all those things. Yeah. So you guys, this is a sacred, safe space. If you do not believe in these things, that's okay. Like, that's okay. It's not for you. But if it is for you, I see you and I love you. And I want you to know that you can do these things that I'm doing. You can do exactly what I'm doing. Okay. I teach you in my $27 guide. So Lisa, we cleared those 6 emotions. We're going to ask, is there another key? You guys, the truth is we always want to know if there's more. Is there more? Is there more? Because when the messenger is done speaking, she leaves. When she leaves, she takes the pain with her, right? Pain is just communication. So is there another key? Yes. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed again? Is this absorbed attached to one of the ones we just cleared? Yes. So is this integration? Yes. Is there another key outside of absorbed? No. Okay. Is there more clearing that Lisa needs to do on her stomach? The acid. Nope, that was it, Lisa. So 6 clearings for her stomach acid. You guys, sometimes I even have to slow down because you're testing. It could be so fast. Sometimes I have to slow down and re-ask, okay? So that was it for Lisa, for her stomach acid. Yes, Kate C8. Thank you, Queen. Yes, Lisa, living the dream. I'm so glad you love this. It's so much fun. Like, I have so much fun teaching these things. And what's even more fun is when I see people, their lights turn back on. It's like it gives them hope. And when the pain leaves and they know that they did it, right? They were the ones that acknowledged the pain. It's the most beautiful, empowering thing to see people being able to heal themselves for free. Okay? So, Lisa, there are more keys that Lisa... Are there more keys that Lisa needs to clear tonight? So I got to know, Lisa. I have a money block. I never had that. It came out of nowhere. Ooh, so Lisa, now that you have the $27 guide, I want you to learn the keys and ask. First, clear all the keys, and then you start with the money block, okay? All right. Brenda, are you here, Queen? Brenda, my love. Are you talking about Holy Spirit doing the clearing? So Riley, you can have, I say unconditional love. So that is my favorite thing because love transmutes everything. That is like the first commandment is love. So when I do anything, I do it in love. And I have found when I'm working with people, some people don't necessarily believe in Holy Spirit, right? Or they see it as something else. And so these keys are universal. So you have to change even the healing. You can have Jesus heal you. You can have God heal you, Heavenly Mother, Gaia, whatever you feel. So unconditional love for me always works. When I'm working with any person, any denomination, any belief system, it's unconditional love. But if you feel called and intuitively feel like that's what's going to get to clear it, then by all means, Queen, you do that for yourself 100%. Okay. So Brenda, are you still here, love? Yay, Brenda. Oh, Shelby, this is so much better. Thank you, love. See how she just pinned her right up there. Okay, so we're all holding sacred space for Lisa. Lisa, let us know how that feels as you start to clear that. If you notice any difference. Brenda, let me know, Queen, what we're working on specifically. Is it all over pain? Yes, all over. Okay. So when it's all over, you guys, I just use the keys and I ask which key will unlock the pain first. And so once you hit the key, you clear the key all the way before you ask if there's another key. When you get the key, you clear it all the way through, ask if there's another key, okay? So I have permission to work with Brenda. You guys, I teach you exactly how to do this in my $27 guide. You do not need 10 years in certifications or over $15,000 to get to the root cause of your problems, any problems in minutes, okay? I see that, Queen. Thank you. Okay, Brenda. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. So the first key I got was generational. So I'm going to keep talking to the messenger, Brenda's messenger, until the message is done. So we're going to ask, do we need to know more? Who are we talking to, right? We're talking to her superconscious, her higher self, who knows exactly what the problem is. Okay, how am I able to do that? Because I asked for permission. You guys can do the same thing, okay? I'm not special. I'm not magical. I'm not your savior. Okay, I remembered, and now I'm teaching you how to remember that you could do the same thing. So is it from mom? It's from dad, Brenda. Okay, messenger, does she need to know more? Yes. How many generations back? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations back. Does she need to know more? Yes. So that means she needs to know the emotion? Yes, okay? In my $27 guide, I have the emotions. I also have, if it's physical, what parasites, toxins, or nutrient deficiencies, okay? So she needs the front page, the back page. 50 through 60, 60 through 70, 70 through 60, 61. I'm Heather. 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. So love unreceived is the generational feeling that's been passed down. So love unreceived from your dad, multiple generations. So 5 generations back, his dad had love unreceived. And then he passed that on to his son, who then passed that on to his son. Okay, so it's generational love unreceived. Okay, Brenda said yes. Okay, thank you, Brenda. So now Brenda is going to do what? She's going to clear this. How do you clear, you guys? You just hold sacred space. You give yourself unconditional love and you allow yourself to feel the emotions. We're not gaslighting or pushing things down anymore. This is what I have noticed, how some people clear. Some people get freezing cold. Some people get hot and sweaty. Some people cry. Some people feel enraged. Some people literally like burp or throw up. That is energy moving. That's all. So when you're holding sacred space, you're allowing your body to purge whatever way it calls or needs to do that. Okay? So Brenda, go ahead, love, and just ask that generational trauma of love unreceived to leave your body. And then I always like to throw on in all timelines, dimensions, and space. Okay, so when I'm clearing something, I'm clearing it on all timelines, all dimensions, all space. Okay, when you're doing this at home, you want to ask, has that been cleared? Yes or no? If it hasn't, there's another key or there's integration. Okay? Wow, Riley, I see you. I had an exorcism done and I had all those symptoms. Yeah. All right, so Brenda, we're going to ask, is there another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. So the next key for Brenda is absorbed. We're going to ask, do we need to know more, messenger? I got a yes. Do we need to know who this was absorbed from? Yes. Was it from mom? Was it from dad? Was it from brother, from sister? Do you have a sister, Brenda? Oh, there you go. Brenda says, I feel so hot. Thank you, Joy. So Brenda's feeling super hot, right? This is how her thing's processing. Yes. Okay, so this is who you took it on from, Brenda. Does she need to know which sister? No. I don't know if you have more sisters, but I got to know you don't need to know which one if you have multiple. Does she need to know more? Yes. So she needs to know the emotion. Front half. Okay. So I'm just looking at my chart, you guys, and asking which one. 50 through 60, 60 through 70, 60, 61, 62, 60. So worthless. You absorbed worthless. Worthless. Does she need to know what age? Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, age 10. Age 11. So Brenda is going to breathe unconditional love into her pain. This pain is absorbed energy of feeling worthless. That wasn't even hers. It was her sister's. Okay. Beautiful, Brenda. And just go ahead and breathe that out. Clear it all timelines, dimension, and space. Okay. Does Brenda have another key? We're going to keep asking till the keys are cleared. Till I get a yes. That she's done for the night. Does she need another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. You guys, those are the keys. Maria, if I remove the trauma, generational, would it also then be removed from my daughter? So I get this a lot. Yes and no. If your daughter came to this life knowing that she needed to experience specific traumas or trials for her enlightenment or growth, you cannot take away those traumas and trials. However, as a mother, you can teach your daughter these keys so that if by chance she does have something generational still stuck in her body, she can clear them and she can become aware, right? So that's free agency, you guys. Free agency is we can never take away someone else's agency or their traumas or their trials that they chose to experience in this life. Okay? So if you guys want to go deeper into like spiritual mastery, I do have a course that I teach only for those who feel called. I do not push, and I'm not sharing on here anymore. If by some chance you saw and heard that I have a spiritual mastery course and you feel called, then it is for you, and you can go look that up and see if you still feel called, okay? So Brenda, let us know how the pain is doing, okay? Lisa, let us know how the pain is doing. So we're going to ask. And then you guys, I do see you who want to be added to the list. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you get the free guide. Please get the free guide because I'm teaching you how to fish. I'm teaching you exactly how to do this for yourself so that when something happens, you can't get to a doctor, you can't get to a healer, you can know exactly what you need to do for yourself, okay? That is empowerment. When you learn the keys and you learn your yes or no, nobody ever can take away or gaslight you or your pain. Brenda's at a 5. Yes, Brenda. Look at you, queen. Okay. How to escape a curse? Well, first you need to know, is it a curse? Then what kind of curse? And then you have to ask the messenger. How do you get the guide? The guide is located in my bio. So click my picture, and then in my profile, I have a Stan Store link. So how do you know if you have a curse? You test spiritual. You ask, is it a curse? Do I need to know more? When did the curse start? What is the curse affecting? And then as soon as you know, you can clear it and you can command it to be cleared. Okay? We all have that power. All right, Brenda, you ready for another key? So we're going to ask which key? Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life. Past life. Brenda, did we clear a past life on you? I have chills now. Yeah. Brenda, did we clear a past life yesterday? We did. Okay. Was it the persecutions cross? Oh, no, we didn't. Okay. I'm thinking this is what it is. Let me ask it. Persecutions cross. I knew it. Brenda. Okay, so for those of you guys who are new or just watching my live, I do have a key. It's the past life key. I experienced this for myself. And since then, I have helped hundreds of mostly females clear the persecutions cross. The persecutions cross is women who have been silenced in multiple lifetimes. I call them multiple training grounds, learning how to speak their truth freely. But the problem is that they were silenced. Right? Which is being hung, being drowned, being persecuted for speaking truth. This life right now is your life to take all of those lifetimes into this moment. And it's like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. That's why there's so much trauma in this life too, you guys. So every single person that has had the persecutions cross has had some type of trauma worse than others, whether that was sexual trauma, physical trauma, emotional, or religious trauma. Okay? It was for a reason. And so, Brenda, you're being asked to clear that now. So how do you clear a past life, persecutions cross, or something that doesn't cause pain? You just hold sacred space and you command that to be cleared in all timelines, dimensions, and space. Now, in this case, it is causing Brenda pain. I can't stop shaking. Okay, that is body processing, Brenda. That is your body shifting, okay? So allow your body to integrate and shifting, okay? It's almost like we're going in and out of dimensions, right? Like our body is vibrating now to the higher frequency. And so it's shifting, okay? All of the above. Yep, trauma. I try to teach people that your traumas and your trials are your training, you guys. Your traumas and your trials were your training. You can't take those away. They're intentional. A caterpillar has to go through the most horrific transformation, turning into literal goo. It doesn't even exist before it can turn into a butterfly. How many of us have been traumatized so badly, physically, emotionally, spiritually, religiously, that we don't even know who we are? It's like we don't exist. Okay? We've been so broken, so destroyed. Who are we? And then this spark of light comes on and we remember. We remember our power. We remember our truth. Okay, we go back and we rewrite our history. We call our power back. And then we rise into the phoenix. We rise into this beautiful butterfly. Okay, a butterfly is so beautiful because of the things it had to go through to get there. Okay, it's for a reason. The people who get stuck in victim and blaming and my life's horrible because of you, they will be stuck there for a very long time until they can reclaim their power. Okay, Brenda's so cold. Is this shifting? Yes. Does she need another key? Yes. So just keep breathing, Brenda. Just keep breathing. If you're freezing cold, you can put your feet in some hot water if you want to. Okay, but your body is shifting, okay? You need another key, yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life absorbed. Okay? So the next key for Brenda is dang, Brenda, we're doing a lot tonight, Queen. You're going to sleep like a freaking baby. You're going to sleep like a baby tonight. Does she need to know more? Yes. It was for mom, dad, brother, sister again. Does she need to know what age? Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 10, 11, 12. So again at 13, the front page, the back page, 50 through 60, 60 through 70, 60, 61, 62, 60. Worthless again. Then you took on another layer of worthless. But you can clear that. So you just ask. I just ask that this absorbed energy that's not mine, this feeling of feeling worthless, that it leaves my body in all timelines, dimension, and space. Good job, Brenda. Has that been cleared? Yes, 100% yes. Does Brenda need another key? No. So yes. Are you muscle testing? Lisa, yeah. So I am doing what's called intuitive testing. So I'm actually certified in kinesiology muscle testing, and I couldn't figure it out. It was really, really hard for me. Now, with that being said, if you know how to muscle test and get a yes or a no, boom, queen, you are one step ahead of more than half of the people on this planet. Now, what you need is just the 7 keys, because then when you have the 7 keys, you can boom. Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this or this? Which key? And then you can unlock your truth in seconds. So the system that I teach you in my $27 guide is a system that I learned in Germany through Innerwise to get your yes and no in seconds, similar to kinesiology, but it's a different system. Hey, Tanya, everything's for a reason, babe. Everything's absolutely for a reason. Yes, Lisa. So if you guys feel called to join my spiritual mastery course, you will be certified in the Truth Code system. We also go really deep into spiritual things, right? So people on here said they experienced spiritual psychosis, spiritual gifts. You guys, we talk about those things very deeply. And so I'm calling in my sisterhood, right? I'm calling in those women who are ready to take their trials and their traumas, transmute them into their power, and then step fully into their gifts and their purposes, okay? Because you are meant to be here for a reason. And your trials and your traumas were very intentional, okay? They were very intentional for you to be here right now. All right, Brenda. Yes, I considered myself pretty healthy for 54, but I can't figure out why I get sore in certain areas. Yeah, Rachel, you can use the keys. Use the keys. Why am I sore? Why do I get this pain in my shoulder every single time? Okay, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Those are the keys. Brenda, still pain in my legs and back, but at a 4. Yes, queen. Can we all send Brenda love at Brenda? Can we all just send her a wave of love? She went from a 10-10 pain to a 4 in minutes, using the 7 keys, asking the messenger what the problem is. You guys, your messenger is just trying to help you. Yay! Your messenger is just communicating to you. Pain is language. Pain is language. But we've been taught since we were babies to silence our pain because they knew if they can get us to doubt ourselves, to gaslight ourselves, to not trust ourselves, we will always stay stuck. Do you know the number one thing Look at all this love for you, Brenda. Do you know the number one thing that I come across women every single time? I don't trust myself. I don't know. I don't trust myself. I can't do this. I don't trust myself. And that is the number one thing that these keys will help you to do, is to start trusting yourself so you no longer gaslight your own intuition. Because I will tell you right now, fact, every single time you asked, yes, Brenda, we love you. Every single time you have asked or prayed for an answer, you received an answer instantly. It was a yes or a no, instantly. Yay, Rhiannon. Oh, I love that. I don't consume content either. So good for you, Queen. Good for you, Queen. And I love that you found me. Okay. All right. So you guys, we just went through the keys with Brenda and Lisa. Lisa Wolf, are you still on here, love? And now Lisa Baker, are you here? Lisa Baker. So you guys, make sure you're following. Don't lose me. Please don't lose me. Okay? Make sure you share this with as many people as you know that are suffering. And then if you want to learn this system and learn how to do what I do for other people, your friends, your family, get the $27 guide. Okay? Lisa, hey, Queen. Okay. So Lisa Baker, you guys were all holding sacred space for Lisa Baker. And I'm showing you exactly how I do this. I have learned how to get a yes or a no from my intuition that never lies. It always tells the truth with the 99.9% accuracy. I have been told that people who are using pendulums and dowsing rods need to stop. Not because they're bad, but because you are being called to use your own body and your own intuition to get a yes or a no. I was also told and taught that we need to start consecrating our bodies and our space for truth. And so we go a lot deeper this into my spiritual mastery course, but we have to start consecrating our spiritual gifts for the highest and greatest good. So when I'm testing my yes and no, I've already set terms and boundaries. So nothing can come in and try to deceive me while I'm trying to help someone. Because the last thing I want to do is test inaccurately for Lisa or Brenda or anyone. And you guys, I'm here as the messenger, as someone to hold sacred space, and I use the keys to unlock truth. Nobody is meant to heal you, okay? That's what Jesus did, okay? What people are meant to do is people have spiritual gifts and they can use those to help people, right? But the problem is people are relying too much on psychics or mediums or healers or bishops or prophets to show them the way. When the truth is that the way is internal. Okay? For all my Christians out there, you know what I'm talking about. Okay? The truth isn't here. Truth is right here. And so I have created a system for you to get your truth so that you will never be gaslit. You will never be shamed. You will never not trust your truth because it is pure truth. And a lot of people, we've been gaslit so many times that we don't even trust our own intuition, our own spiritual downloads, okay? And that's what I want you to start doing. So the free guide will teach you how to get a yes or no. And as you practice the yes and no technique with your body, you are going to intuitively start recognizing something. You're going to be like, every time I get a yes, I feel this way. Every time I get a no, my body feels this way. And you're going to start recognizing the language of your body. You're going to start recognizing your spiritual gifts, okay? So, Lisa, we're going to test for Lisa. Do I have permission to test Lisa Baker? Yes. So I'm just communicating with her higher self, okay? We're all connected energetically. It surprises me when people say, you can't do that, when I can literally pick up my phone and call someone across the country and talk to them in seconds. How do you think that's happening? It's energetic, right? All right, Lisa. It's physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed. First, Lisa, what are we working on specifically? Brenda. Yes, Brenda, you cleared a lot, Brenda. So I want you to drink lots of water. If you have Celtic or Himalayan sea salt, Brenda, make sure you take some of that. Maybe take a bath tonight if you can, or a shower. Shower helps cleanse energy. Okay. And then if you can, go outside and put your feet in some dirt and go hug a tree, Lisa or Brenda. Okay, Lisa, whole body pain, left hip lately. Okay. So you guys, whenever I'm working with pain, I always ask my messenger, do I need to do all the keys or can I just go straight to the hip pain? So I'm just going to ask for Lisa, do we need to do all over pain? Nope. We got to go right to the hip pain. Okay. So we're going to the hip. So we're going to ask her messenger, what is causing her hip pain? We're going to use the keys to unlock her truth. Okay. I give you all the keys for free. I also teach you in my free guide how to get a yes or a no. In my $27 guide, we go even deeper and I teach you how to get a yes or no in seconds. Okay, so Lisa has left hip pain. What's the first key? Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational? So the first key, Lisa, past life. Persecution's cross. This is a big one. So Lisa, you already heard me talk to Brenda and other Lisa, right? This is you too, Queen. Okay? Lots of trials and traumas, am I right? More than most, am I right? Lisa? Sometimes when you share all your traumas and your trials, you're like, you sound like you're making stuff up, like for attention, and you're like, no, these things actually happened to me. Yeah. So we're all holding sacred space for Lisa right now so she can clear this. Okay? So Lisa, you're just going to hold sacred space for your body and you're going to command and ask that this past life, all these lifetimes being silenced, okay, you're going to be the phoenix rising right now. You're going to clear this persecution's cross from all timelines, all dimensions in space. And you're going to watch as that hip pain just vanishes. Okay? We're going to ask, is there another key? Yes. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life? It's absorbed. So it's absorbed. You guys, I keep asking how many keys until the keys are cleared. Hi, love. So the next key, is it what? Is it physical? It's emotional? Oh, we already got absorbed. Okay, it's absorbed. Do we need to know more? Nope. So we don't even need to know. So she can just clear that. So as you're clearing this, Lisa, you're just going to command that absorbed energy that's not yours to also leave your body. And just breathe that out. Okay? I'm hugging a tree. Yes, Brenda. You guys, I am a tree hugger. I literally love trees. Do you know, I told my husband if we ever moved, I will literally cry my eyes out because I will miss my plants, my trees, my bushes. I am one of those people. I have such a relationship with my plants. I'm one of those people. So if you love hugging trees, we can be friends. Okay, Lisa, is there another key? Yes. Physical, emotional, spiritual, generational. Generational trauma, you guys, gotta love it. Do we need to know more? Yes. Is it from mom? It's from dad. Do we need to know how many generations back? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 generations back. Does she need to know the emotion? No. So something generational too is now ready to clear from dad's line. So again, Lisa, just ask and command that any generational trauma that's been passed down be cleared. All timelines, dimensions, and space. Okay? And just see that being cleared. Having chills also like Brenda did. Yep. Body's shifting. Body's processing. Good job, Lisa. Great job, Queen. Okay. And you guys, thank you so much for loving and sharing. Like, look how close we are to 100K. Okay. That means TikTok is going to send this out to people. And by the way, I don't get paid for that. I don't get paid for like the hearts or the shares. Okay. It's just to get people this information for free. Okay. So Lisa Baker, is there another key? Nope. Does she need to clear another key for her hip? No. Does she need another key for like the all over pain that she's experiencing right now? Yes. Okay. Can we clear that tonight? No. So, you guys, I always ask my body what I need because there is such a thing as healing crisis, doing too much. Okay. We're not forcing our bodies to clear everything in one session, right? So, Lisa Baker, that was it for you, Queen. So, let us know as you're processing where that hip pain goes. That hip pain should go to a 0 tonight, though. So, let us know when that pain goes from a 10 to a 0. And then, Brenda, how are you feeling? How is Brenda doing? You're welcome, Lisa. And then, yeah, Lisa, as you're processing, let us know as that shifts down to like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, so we can all mass love you. Okay. So is Janet here? Is Janet here? Ooh, okay, Lisa. So, Lisa, I got major all over body chills. She is processing. She is processing. All right, so Janet 66. Are you ready? So, Janet, remind me what your pain level is, where you're at, and if you give me permission. Okay, so you guys, in my $27 guide, I teach you exactly how to do this for other people. So in my certifications as Reiki, emotion code, theta healing, NLP, hypnosis, quantum healing, hypnosis therapy, and all my modalities, there's a system. Okay, I have learned that you always have to have permission in order to work on people. Yes, Rhiannon. I'm so excited. So Janet, do I have permission to work on you, and let me know like what we're working with so that we can clear that exactly. Yes. Thank you, Shelby. Yeah, let's keep hitting the heart screens, you guys. So for those who are just sitting and watching, how can you help? Just send the taps. Just tap, tap, tappity tap. Love away. And then share this with people who you know would benefit from this information. Janet, are you still here? I think you're getting filtered out. It's just top. My daughter's a little mad at me because I fell, but I'm fine and I feel good. Oh, okay. Can I get it? I see you, Mar. So we're working with Janet. Is Janet still here? I think she might have got booted off. Or her messages are being filtered. Brenda is at a 3. Okay, so Janet, everyone, can we send Brenda so many hearts? Okay, and then we're going to be holding space for Janet. So she said stomach, bloating, headache. So stomach and headache. And I have permission. So I'm going to ask, do I have permission? Yes. I'm going to ask her body, is the headache and the stomachache connected? Yes. Okay. So these are all connected. So that means that the keys will work for both of those. Sometimes, you guys, the headache and the neck pain or back pain will be separate. So you have to treat them separately. Does this make sense? So when I'm speaking to the messenger is going to say, this is what's wrong with the neck. This is what's wrong with the stomach. This is what's wrong with the whatever. Okay. So they're connected. So we're going to ask the messenger which key will unlock this first. Physical, emotional, spiritual. Okay, so we got the spiritual key. There's 2 sides of spiritual. There's ascension, awakening, but there's also the not so good. The unclean spirits, the demonic entities, the curses, the hexes. Okay, if you don't believe in that, then it's just something that we need to transmute. Okay, we need to clear. So for Janet, I'm going to ask, is it unclean spirit? It's demonic. Okay, so demonic. Do we need to know more? Yes. Are there more than one? Yes. Are there legion? Yes. Okay, so legion just means hundreds, which to me means there's probably a portal. Yes. Okay. Do we need to know when this happened? Yes. Age 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, age 10 at age 11. Did something happen at age 11, Janet? Good night, Jody. Did something happen at age 11, Janet? Not that I remember. Okay, cool. So something happened. So this is when the Legion came, portal came. Does she need to know more? No. This is causing her stomach and her head pain. Yes. Okay. So can she clear it? Yes. So you guys, whenever I have something like demonic, I think of demonic or unclean spirits sometimes as like a flu or just something that's like an irritant, and I just want to send it away. So Janet, for you, I just want you to take a couple deep breaths in, and I want you to just command that any portals, any demonic attachments, that they be cleared now, right? You can say in the name of Jesus, whatever you feel called to do, but I want you to see like this bright white light just surrounding your whole entire body. But these are the things I want you to say exactly. I command that these demonic entities leave immediately, that I become invisible to you. You cannot leave any trackers on me. You could never, ever find me once you leave. I command that this portal, however you're getting to me, is sealed off and closed in the name of Jesus or whatever you believe in, okay? And I want you to feel them leaving, see them leaving, command it to be gone, okay? That's been cleared now, okay? So I'm going to keep testing until I get a yes that that's been cleared. And this is what's attached to your head, is where I see it. So remember I had attachments to my head. So that's where I see it attaching, is right there. That's been cleared, yes, 100%. Good job, Janet. How are you feeling? So we're going to ask, is there another key? Yes. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational? So I'm going to keep going through the keys. Let us know how you're feeling, Janet. From Dad, lighter and hot. Okay, good job. You're clearing. So the next is generational, from Mom, from Dad. Does she need to know more? Nope. So then you're going to clear, Janet, you're just going to command again. I command this generational trauma that's not mine to leave. Okay, see it being cleared from your body and fully healed. That's attached. That one was attached to your stomach. Your stomach pain was generational. Okay. Does she need to know more for that? Nope. Okay, that's been cleared 100%. Good job. Thank you, Mar. All right. Is there another key? Yes. Is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life, absorbed? Okay, absorbed is the next key. You guys, I teach you all these keys for free. If you want to learn exactly how to do what I'm doing for other people, right? It's so easy. I promise you, it's so easy. The hardest part is just memorizing the keys and then trusting yourself. That's it. Okay. So that's in my $27 guide. In January, it's going to go up to $47. So get it sometime this month. Absorbed. Does she need to know more? Yes. From Mom, from Dad. Does she need to know more? Yes. Does she need to know the emotion? Yes. Does she need to know the age? Yes. 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 15 through 20, 20 through 25, 25 through 30, 30 through 35, 35 through 40. Janet, how old are you? Ringing in the ears? Okay, that's clearing. Remember we said spiritual key ascension symptoms could be ringing in the ears. 58. Okay, I was getting up there in numbers, so I wanted to make sure I was right. So you absorbed something from your dad, older years. 10 through 20, 20, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50. Oh, okay, this is what it was. So sometimes if my numbers keep going, it's dimensional. Okay? You absorb something dimensionally. I know that's good. Like, what does that mean? You don't need to know what that means to clear it. So you're just going to clear this absorbed energy. So dimensionally absorbed, you guys, is when you take on things in multiple lives for the same person. It's like dimensionally the same thing that you take on in each life. And so you're asking to clear that now in this life. Okay, almost like karmic. She's cleared that 100%. Good job. Oh, Brenda's getting hot now. So as you guys shift energy, right? Do you know when you're actually shifting, have you heard people say like quantum leaps, right? So when you shift and clear, you're literally quantum leaping into a different dimension or timeline. And all that really means is that you just shifted your frequency. So we all have a frequency. And when you heal and clear, you literally shift your frequency. Okay? And when you shift your frequency, it puts your frequency on a different timeline or a different dimension. And now you're like, oh, all these things are coming in because you just changed your timeline. Okay? Does this make sense? It's so cool. It's so cool. Let's ask if Janet needs another key. Yes. Hi, Nicole. Everyone say love to Nicole. She's in our spiritual mastery class and she's incredible. Brenda's getting chills. She's shifting. She's shifting. Just trust it. Yeah, Tilly, I feel that. So all of you guys that are having these systems, little scholars, Nakia is on my live too, you guys. She's in her spiritual mastery class. If you guys aren't following these queens, like these queens are going to be doing some big stuff in their life. Yes. All right. Janet needs another key. So we're going to ask, is it physical, emotional, spiritual, generational, past life? Past life again. I wonder if this is karmic because that's what I got from the absorbed from your dad. Is this karmic? Yes. I knew it. So karmic, was there a lesson that needed to be learned and that lesson was learned? Did it have to do with her dad? Yes. Was there lots of things with your dad, Janet? And you guys, I'm not mediumship. I'm not psychic. I'm using my intuition to ask intuitive questions. And I'm just asking yes or no, right? And I've learned how to become a really good investigator and learned how to ask good questions, which as children, we know how to do that. So as little children, you know how to ask questions. Well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about this? And you're like, shut up, be quiet, stop talking. You grew up without him. Okay, that makes sense. So just because you grew up without him doesn't mean that there's some karmic things that he was tied to in the womb, his generation, his stuff. So you're clearing a lot of whatever this karmic stuff is with him. Does she need another key? Nope, that was the last key. Will her stomach pain and her head pain go away to a 0 tonight? No, what will her head pain get to? A 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, a 0. So your head pain will go to a 0 tonight, Janet. The stomach pain, that will go to a 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4. That will go to a 4 tonight. And then it eventually will clear up to a 0. Okay? But something did happen to you when you were little? Okay. Does she need to clear this tonight? Is that something that she happened to physical? Okay. So there are some spiritual things we need to clear about when you were little. Can we clear that on this live tonight? No. Lisa Baker! Her pain is maybe at a 2. Can't wait to see how I sleep. It always hurts worse when in bed. Okay, Lisa. So Lisa, before you go to bed tonight, I want you to consecrate your bed. Okay? That it will bring healing, integration, and peace. And then I also want you to pray, right? That this pain can leave your body completely. And that tomorrow you'll be able to use the keys to get even deeper healing and truth. So good job, Lisa. Everyone send Lisa so much love. And then Janet. Yes, I love that. Tatum. Brenda. Will Brenda's pain be at a 0 tonight? No, what will it be at? A 10, a 9, an 8, a 7, a 6, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1. I got it'll get down to a 1, Lisa. Brenda. Lightheaded, so tired and exhausted. Yes. Yes, Janet. So you did incredible, Janet. So you cleared so much. First of all, the persecutions crossed. First of all, karma, generational stuff from your dad, absorbed energy dimensionally from your dad. So there's a lot of stuff, even though he was not in your life. Okay. Legions of entities, Janet. Okay. No wonder you're exhausted, Queen. Yeah, Brooke, there's a reason why you came across my live, Queen. It's because you need to know these 7 keys to unlock your truth, right? The messengers keep trying to tell you you're tired and exhausted for a reason, and you can know exactly why. Exactly why. You're so welcome, Janet. Yes, we got to 100K likes. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And thank you so much for sharing. So I think, what time did I come in at 8:15? So you guys, I'm going to go through the keys one more time. Let me just block this person. Before I get off, you guys, I want to make sure you're following me. Make sure you get my free guide, okay? Make sure you get my free guide. And then if you want to invest a little bit of money in yourself, get the $27 guide so you can learn the 7 keys. You can get all the cheat sheet questions. You can get all the guides, and then you can learn how to do this proxy. So you can learn how to do this for your kids and for your husband and for your family members. So when someone comes into your life that's sick, you can ask them, would you like me to test for you? Would you like me to get to the root cause, right? And you will be able to do that. And you will see miracles, and you will see healing happen in minutes. And people are going to say, are you a psychic? Are you a healer? And you're going to say, no, I just remembered my power. I remembered my worth. I remembered that I've been given gifts and that I can know exactly what is wrong with me and how to heal myself. And that is truth, you guys. Every single person can do this. I'm not special. I'm not your savior, right? What do? I'm here to help women remember their truth. I'm here to help women step fully into their power, to let their light shine. I'm here to stop women from putting their lights under a bushel, from not speaking their truth, for staying silent, for allowing their abusers to walk comfortably and free while you're suffering in silence, literally putting your own light out. Can you tell what gifts a person has? I can test, absolutely, but that's what my spiritual mastery course is for. So you guys, my spiritual mastery course, if you feel called, okay? If you feel called, you can go look it up, but you can ask everyone in my spiritual mastery course. It's not something that you just throw into the wishing well and hope things happen, right? It's work. You have to do meditations every day, right? We're asking, we're receiving, we're strengthening our spiritual gifts. We're setting the proper consecration prayers. We're setting the proper boundaries, right? We're receiving truth at the highest level. Okay. Yes. Shelby's coming into our course tonight. I'm so excited for her. So if you feel called, it's for you. If you don't, it's not for you. Okay. But it's incredible. Yeah. Tough needs to be versus it, right, Kara? Yeah. She's like, I know. Okay. But everything is like right on time. You're never late. You're always right on time. You're exactly where you need to be at this moment. The lessons that you're learning right now, the traumas and the trials were what you needed to step into what God is calling you to step into, or whatever higher source is calling you to step into. Every single thing that you have experienced in life is because you are going to turn around and help someone who's experienced those things. So every spiritual mastery course I've taken, every certification I've taken, everything I've done in my life has led me up to this point where now I can help people and I can hold sacred space for people who've experienced pain and trauma, sexual trauma, child loss, physical trauma, religious trauma, okay? Because I know what it feels like, but I also know the flip side of having your power back, of knowing your worth, of knowing how to set boundaries, awakening my spiritual gifts to 100%, knowing that I can talk directly to my creator and source, knowing that I can get instant answers, knowing that every time I pray, I get an answer, and knowing that's true for me, and knowing that every time everyone else prays, that they're getting answers too instantly. Yes, you're welcome, Brenda. So for all of you guys on here, thank you so much. There's a reason why you're seeing this live, right? There's a reason why you stuck around and you watched for 2 hours. These keys are free. It took me over 10 years and over $15,000 in certifications to not only learn to trust myself, but to recognize the truth that each key held a part of me that I needed to unlock and heal. And once I unlocked the truth and healed that, it was like I reclaimed a part of myself. I reclaimed some of that power. So these keys are going to bring all your power back to you so that you no longer silence your truth, so that you can stand firm in your beliefs, so that when people come in and attack you and try to hurt you, which is probably going to be family members too, they have no power over you. Okay? People are going to say mean things about you. People are going to call you dumb or whatever, a liar. They're going to try to gaslight you. They're going to try to make you feel small, right? The lighter you shine, the more darkness, right? The more darkness happens. But guys, Jesus was the perfect example of this, right? He shined his light so bright that they literally put his light out, or they tried to. So with stepping into spiritual master gifts, it's not easy. I wish I could say it was, but the transformation into a butterfly, it takes time and it takes work and it takes dedication. It would be so much easier for me to hide my light and to say, well, some people said I shouldn't speak these things. And some people said that I'm whatever, right? There's so many excuses not to go after your dreams. There's so many excuses to stay stuck in your pain and victim mentality. It's harder. It's not easy, right? It takes work. But when you have the keys, you guys, the work becomes quicker and easier because now you don't have to second guess. Now I don't have to second guess, why am I not manifesting this amount of money in my bank account? Now I don't have to second guess if this business relationship or this person in my life is for my highest and greatest good. Now I don't have to guess when I intuitively feel something off about a person. I'm like, ooh, that doesn't feel right. Yep, that's why. Okay? So we got to stop silencing our truth. We got to stop gaslighting ourselves. We got to start connecting to our intuition, our power. Guys, my eyes are on fire for some reason. I love you guys all so much. And thank you. Shelby, thank you so much for, yes, I'm so happy for that you came in too. Shelby, thank you so much for moderating for this live and helping everyone out and answering everyone's questions. Give Shelby some love. And then, yeah, you guys make sure you're following me. Get the free guide. Like, at least get the free guide and start there. And then you will see all the information and all the things you can learn just from that is transformational, just in the free guide. Brenda, I love you. Okay, so everyone keep Lisa and Janet and Lisa and Brenda in your prayers tonight. All right? Hope you have an amazing night. I will be back on tomorrow night. I think 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time is just the time I'm going to get on. So every night except for Sundays. Okay? Love you guys. Have such a great night. Bye, Shelby.